Hey guys, Jim Halterman from TV Guide Magazine and TV Insider. I'm here with Melissa Rauch to talk about Night Court, which is back, and I'm so excited.
Wow, look at that view!
That is what sold Sarah on the place.
Sarah, your wife?
She was. So, what brings you to town?
I moved here for a job. I am the new night court judge.
I'm going to jump right into this, Melissa, because the one thing I loved about this is the theme song is back. You guys are using the original theme song, which I remember so well. But can you talk about, was that a no-brainer going in, or was that a talking point about the theme?
Oh yeah, 100%. We knew that we wanted to use this same theme song because it's iconic. I feel like you can't do Night Court without that incredible song. But we were lucky enough that this revamped version of it was actually done by John Larroquette's son, Benjamin Larroquette, when we were doing when we were just in the development process, and I think we had pitched the show, and we were in the process of developing the pilot script. John sent us this recording that Ben did and said, this is just him noodling around with the song, but check it out. And our minds were blown. We were so excited. And at that point, we didn't even know if we were going to actually get to shoot a pilot. And so we were like, we would play it, when we were working on the script to get pumped up. And it was so exciting to think if we make this show, this is what we can use. And yeah, I can't believe we're here because it seemed like such a dream at the time if that could potentially happen.
Yeah, and I feel like this will be kind of the bar set for reviving a classic show, because it feels like the original show, but you guys have taken it in new directions as well. You were calling it a new boot, I think I heard somewhere, which I liked. But how did you guys figure that out? I know your husband's a producer, you have a lot of people involved in the show. How did you guys figure out how to make sure you got it right?
Yeah, so we have a wonderful showrunner, Dave Rubin, and Winston, my husband, who's also a producer on the show, and John was very involved in the development process and what this was going to be. And I think that when people hear the term reboot, I think there's what are you going to do to my favorite show? It can almost set off a protective cringe of I don't know if you want to touch what I loved so much. And I, as a fan of the original, I completely get that. So I think it was important to us in this iteration that we, at the same time that we didn't want to reinvent the wheel, we also wanted it to be respectful and very much an homage to the original, but also something very fresh and new. What is exciting about this version is that fans of the original will love the fact that it's in the same walls as Night Court. There's so much that is connected to the original. There's Easter eggs throughout for fans of the original. Obviously, the character I play, Abby Stone, is the daughter of the late Harry Stone, and he's really the connection between Abby and Dan Fielding. So there's so much that people who really love the original as I did, I think they will be excited to see. But at the same time, there's also this wonderful new cast of characters, and you don't need to necessarily know about the original to enjoy it.
Yeah, and talk about, I can't imagine John and Dan Fielding not being a part of this. And I know that was all part of the development early, right? Making sure John was a part of this and he was on board pretty early, if I remember right.
Yes. When we started discussing the idea and talking to Warner Brothers about the IP, he was immediately brought up because it was the story that we wanted to tell, was very much about Abby bringing Dan Fielding back. And so, yeah, John was always a part of it, and having those early conversations with him, even though he was apprehensive about doing this, we eventually, just kept talking about it. And really, I didn't think that I was going to be playing Abby originally. I was really planning to just produce this. And John, when he first started talking to me, he's like, well, are you going to be playing the judge? And I'd be like, no, it's really not in the cards. It's not going to be the next move that I do post Big Bang. And he would often revisit it, and I would, and then as like I just started falling in love with the script and falling in love with the project, and him and I became very close throughout the development process. I was like, I'm gonna be such a dummy if I don't do this. And then it was a bit of us saying, like, because I was, a bit scared for what my next move would be after, being on Big Bang. And so I think I even said to him at one point, like, let's jump out of this plane together and just sort of hold hands and go for it.
Yeah, just like I said, I can't imagine John not being a part of this. I now can't imagine you not being a part of this, since I've seen the episodes and I've seen you as Abby. And of course, we wouldn't be able to do this if you were not a part of the show. There's our cover.
Oh my gosh, that's the first time I'm seeing it.
That is the cover.
That is really cool.
I will hook you up with copies.
Oh my gosh, that is going to be blown up in my parents' living room. Like, I am going to send you a picture of that in their living room.
Yes.
There's a spot for it, and my parents have been getting TV Guide my entire life, so they're going to be thrilled.
But what does it mean to you? Because you've been in the magazine for Big Bang, but this is your show. You helped create this. You're part of the face of the show with John. How does that feel?
Well, it's very surreal. I got to say, seeing that cover, I maybe will get a little bit teary, because that's just really
hold up one more time.
That's really cool. I mean,
that's you.
That's very cool. And just to be standing next to the TV and honestly, just the across so many platforms, TV, theater, film legend that is John Larroquette, to be on that cover with him is just, it's mind blowing to me. And I just loved him so much on this show in the original incarnation. And I pinched myself that I'm getting to do this with him.
Well, I'm excited for people to read the story that we did in the magazine and then to see the show. Remind me, when does it air on NBC?
January 17th. We have a 1 hour premiere, 2 episodes back to back for our premiere night, which I'm so excited for people to see, and I hope they enjoy it.
Okay, and I can attest they're good episodes, so you guys make sure to watch.